Well, I definitely know who my A's and B's are now because as I went around, it was hard enough that I could tell. So you had those ones that could only replicate what I'd done, and you had those ones that couldn't sort things out for themselves or couldn't explain their thinking. And then I had the ones that could easily decide on categories, they could easily change their mind, and they could easily justify their thinking.
I'm wondering though, like we did talk about when we were doing the lesson, originally we were going to give them the labels and say if you want to add more you can. I'm wondering if we gave that structure to them instead of saying just go for it. For the ones that needed more structure, they were the lost ones, and then they were the ones who were copying your titles. But I'm wondering if we gave like lives in the tree, lives on the ground, the 4 categories we had decided on, and then said, but if you want to add some more, you can do it. I wonder if that would have...
If we'd just given them the categories. And the ones that were able to make really good choices about what to call each group, generally had a very good understanding of how to group them. So I would think that those children...
And are making connections, I think, between the features of the animal and how that, like the fin or the,
they're your
they're in the water. Yeah, they're making all those connections. So that, because on the card there is no habitat except for, see, the rabbit had the grass and the shark had the water, so they're in their habitat, kind of. So they were visually backed because there was a visual cue there.
So what if we clued them into that?
That's what I was wondering, is it more unpacking vocab more, the habitat more, or is it about the picture, or...?
But could it be, you still do the same activity, but you say, I don't want you to just look at the animal, you might need to look at where the animal is.
I think we need to add something
or
else
some things
there.
around the animal that you notice that will give you clues. So if we said, maybe we need to say that it's not just about what you notice on the animal but around the animal,
Because they kept trying, he particularly kept trying to bring other things in, and they were features. And I noticed that when both of them were discussing their pictures in the beginning, they only focused on the what I see. They didn't even get to the habitat.
And I think
and I love watching somebody else teach. I don't think we have enough opportunity to go and see how somebody else teaches something or the cues they use and things like that. So I think that was interesting to see. Like, I taught the first time obviously, so I haven't had both opportunities to do that.
And how often do you get to teach something and then teach it again and doing it? Fixing up all your mistakes. It's nice.
I think from week to week with classification we use exactly the same thing, except change the topic we're focusing on each week. We have had the opportunity, when it doesn't work, to go back and do something to fix it. I fiddled with when I put the worksheet in, how I introduce it, when I tell them what we're looking at, or if I give them the hints. If I do the PowerPoint, if I don't do the PowerPoint. Like, there's been so many different variables based on the lesson the week
been
before.
able to refine it, haven't you, the actual lesson.
Absolutely.
And I've actually understood the process a bit more of classifying, like I don't know about the other ones, but going, okay, it's not just introducing it, but then unpacking it and then going to that higher level, which is what we did more today. And I could really see that by you holding back and not giving them the answers and allowing that almost conflict, like problem solving, the struggle, that is actually what made it good.
And for us as teachers,
because they needed your questioning, didn't they, to help them stay on track.
Ashley sat next to Nicholas because Nicholas has
His answers are so funny.
big issues with being able to work out what comes next in terms of, like, he'll just sit there wanting to be able to pick a picture up. You need to say pick up a picture. So you actually have to do his
I was actually saying, okay, Nick, it's your turn. Okay, Luke, it's your turn.
So he needs someone to sit with him. But they were doing it. But you had to be in charge of the
second I said, okay, you guys look after it. They both sat
process.
And it was more of a window into their
definitely,
thinking than if we'd given them just all the labels.
I was thinking to add in referring back to the habitat, but maybe like referring again, like when they first got the card off their desk and came back, the girls that I saw, so I didn't see everyone, I see was great, it was very literal. I see something here. I wonder, they had trouble actually, that's another step higher again, they had trouble going, I wonder, like
Whereas,
connecting what I see to what I wonder.
Yeah, when we've done I see, I notice, I wonder with the
something a bit more
the
visual.
other practice sets,
Yeah.
the other lessons.
It was
It's interesting because complex reasoning is really taking people out of their comfort zone, isn't it? And I think particularly in the younger grades, we can sometimes scaffold them so much because we don't want them to experience failure that it can be hard for them. They actually want you to give them the answer, and